Good morning, everyone. We're here today to talk about how to design a follow-up campaign, and I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Cindy Morris, and we have a great group of people that are joining us. We are recording the session, so you'll have a chance to watch it again to review and learn, and of course we'd be happy if you'd pass it along to other people. So this is going to be a jam-packed, informative training on teaching you how to follow up. So let's get started. So you've all heard this term, fortune is in the follow-up. And like a lot of famous sayings, it really is true. And I know you wouldn't be on the call today if you didn't believe that, and maybe you have some gaps in your follow-up system. So we're going to share some of that with you. So why should you follow up? Well, first of all, maybe your competitors are doing it, and you want to do it too. Maybe you already have a list of customers or clients or donors or volunteers, and you know what? They need attention too. With follow-up, you can be top of mind at the time that your customers and prospects are ready for your products and services. So there are a lot of opportunities out there that you can take advantage of when you follow up, and we want you to know that we know that you're leaving money on the table. We see it every single day. So let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about lifetime customer value, why you should follow up, some of the legal issues, the follow-up keys, how to follow up, how to monitor and measure, how to develop a lead conversion portal. I had fun developing that one, a lead conversion portal. And then we're going to talk about what you can do next in your turn. So a little bit about us. I'm Cindy Morris, as I mentioned. I'm a business owner, and I have been for many, many years, and that's just like many of you on the call today, so we all have that in common. My business partner, Christine Wood, and I help local businesses get more business. And local businesses to us are businesses that are looking for local clients. So whether you're a virtual business or a brick and mortar or a professional service, if you're looking for local customers, then we can be your marketing team. We spend many, many hours every week learning and keeping up with the changes in technology and marketing and best business practices. And that's what we're bringing you with this series of trainings. We really love to educate business owners on how you can use technology in your local marketing to get more business. Local marketing, which is also known as local SEO, and for those of you that may not have heard that term, SEO is search engine optimization. And that means getting found more easily on search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing. They're all looking for how to find you. And there are definite techniques that you can use that will give signals and clues and little breadcrumbs to Google, Yahoo, Bing, and lots of other places so that when your target market is looking for you, you can be found. So Google, Yahoo, and Bing, they know people are searching and researching online for products and services. And their job is to deliver the very best experience, which means the most exact business, product, or service that someone is searching for. The more exact they can be, the more often those searchers those consumers or other businesses will come back to Google, Bing, Yahoo, and all the others, and they make money on advertising, and they make money on having people be on their site so that advertisers will want to be there as well. So if your business can't be found quickly on a smartphone by your keywords, then you're missing out. If you can't be found on the internet, if your website is out there and it's never being found, if you get no traffic on your website, you get no conversions, nobody buys, nobody calls from your website, then you're not leaving enough crumbs out there for Google and the rest of them to be able to find you. So smartphones and mobile devices like tablets, are outselling laptops and desktops now. And the online marketing world is changing. And we like to help businesses with all of this. So if you're not following up with both your website visitors and walk-in prospects that might walk into your business, as well as current customers, then you're really missing out on some amazing marketing opportunities. If your competition is doing it, then they're beating you out. And we see this, we can see this on the internet where your competition is coming up before you do. And if your competition isn't following up, it's really your chance to learn and stay ahead. So first, let's talk about lifetime customer value. So your current customers are really your most valuable asset. And let's find out how much a current customer is really worth. In our free Local Profit Leaks report, we teach you more about lifetime customer value, and you can get that, as you can see, at bizfinderlocal.com. Now, once you calculate the lifetime value of a customer, which we're not going to show you how to do that here, we're just going to assume that you know, well, actually, we are going to show you here. If your average sale is $50 per customer, and the average customer purchases 8 times a year, and you have 500 customers, then your annual revenue is somewhere around $200,000. And if the length of your customer relationship is about 10 years, then every new customer that you walk in the door, on average, is worth $4,000 to you. And so obviously the more customers you get, or the more you can offer to them, then you can increase the lifetime value of that customer. Now, knowing this information and calculating it can completely transform the way you look at your business, the way you do business, and the profits that your business will generate. It's really a make or break number. So if you have, if we were just to increase the value of a customer, because we know that your new customers are your highest cost. Maybe you got them from advertising, or maybe you got them from a daily deal, a Groupon, or Living Social. All of those, getting those new customers in the door represents your highest cost, your client acquisition cost. But current customers can be recurring revenue for you if you're set up properly. So let's just see what would happen if you just increased all of these numbers by 5%. So the average sale went from $50 to $55. They purchased 8.8 times. We know these are averages. You had 550 customers. Your annual revenue would increase from $200,000 to $266,000, which is more than 10%, as you can see. So just increasing these various numbers by some percentage will increase your bottom line. Again, we keep them for 10 years. If we increase them longer, obviously that number would change. But to try to keep things as simple as possible, the lifetime value of a customer is worth $4,840. So knowing that, you know how much you can spend to acquire a customer. If you spend 10% of that, that means that you could spend $480 to acquire a lifetime customer. Now, we don't really want you to spend $480 depending on what your business is, but you can see that this begins to tell you how much a new customer is worth and how much you can afford to pay to acquire that customer. So your annual income then for 10 years, now this is really an interesting number. So where you were making $200,000, and now you're making $266,200. That's an increase, as we can see, we can do the math here, of $66,200. And hopefully your costs aren't that much. You've got all your infrastructure in place. You have some new acquisition, you don't have acquisition costs, or they are reduced because you're getting more from every customer. And over 10 years, that is $662,000 added to your revenue stream. And this can all happen, excuse me, when you follow up. So there's real power in follow-up. It can translate into more customers, more sales, and more profit. Now, let's talk about sales. The number one reason for failure in businesses is that you don't have a sales funnel. You don't know what people are coming in to buy, and you don't know what to offer them, and you don't have any follow-up. 48% are never even followed up. How many times do you sign up for something in a store and you never hear from them? So, or maybe some of you have made a sales call and never followed up, or I know this one is very famous. You've attended some sort of a networking event or a conference, collected a lot of cards, and they're still sitting in your desk drawer or maybe in a pile on your desk gathering dust. So now here's an interesting number. Only 2% of sales are actually made on the first contact. Think about it. How many times do you actually sell? Now, of course, if you have a business where people are coming in, like a grocery store or something where people are coming in and making small purchases, that's not going to be true. But for many of us, you'll have some sort of contact with them, and only a very small percentage will actually make a sale the first time through. Over 80% of sales, and this may or may not be true for you, this is an industry standard, are made on the 5th contact or even more. So the moral of the story here, of course, is don't give up. Now, why do you want to follow up? Well, we know that it will build your business, and most of us are in business because we love what we do and we want to earn money doing it. So having a good follow-up system can mean a huge difference in your marketing and bottom line, as we saw on that lifetime customer value. And this is true whether you're an online business, a retail store, or a professional service provider. Following up with someone should be more than just a simple email the next day. Let me tell you a story. This is probably a good 10 years ago. I was at a conference, and it was a 3-day conference. And on the last day, 5 women ended up at the table together for lunch, and we shared our business cards. And when I got home, I wrote just very simple, handwritten, nice to meet you notes for everyone that had an actual physical address on their business card. In 10 years, a lot of us don't do that anymore. But nevertheless, I followed up with them. And later from that conference, we were invited to be part of a 10-week program, and we were encouraged to find a partner. And one of the women that I wrote to from that event, her name was Elaine, and she contacted me and she said, why don't we be partners? And so we were, and we got a lot done, and we moved our businesses forward. And we became very good friends. She invited me to attend another event that I did invest in, and she made a commission off of that. And we later became, both of us became coaches for that organization. I found out about it first, and I let her know that that opportunity was available, and she applied, and we both made a great deal of money off of being coaches for that organization. And again, she invited me to attend an event, and so we ended up both making money off of it. Funny enough, this week I actually had someone call me who I had heard about from Elaine for many years. Elaine and I are still friends, by the way. And her name was Susie. And Susie called about asking us to work with her. And so that relationship will move forward here. We'll have sales as a result of that. And Susie has a lot of contacts in our market who aren't being served, the kinds of clients we like to have, and she knows they're not getting our services. So there will be referral income as well, all from a simple nice to meet you note that I wrote 10 years ago. And there were other spin-offs from that as well. It's actually kind of a funny story, but I won't tell you all of the spin-offs there. Just suffice it to say that because I followed up with that, a simple nice to meet you note, I have made literally thousands of dollars from that one note. And if I hadn't followed up with it, I would have had no way to get in touch with Elaine, and she wouldn't have gotten back in touch with me. So you can follow up with people in many, many ways, and we're going to show you that. You can build your network of referral partners. Elaine and I have exchanged contact names from our Rolodex for many, many years. And we know now that you need to touch your prospects for between 5 and 17 times. It depends on your business, and it depends how good your selling cycle is. We work with businesses and help you tailor a follow-up process that's right for you. And part of it is that does a lot of automated follow-up for you, which you're going to see as we go further through here. It can also ask your clients for testimonials and for referrals. A good follow-up system will allow you to target specific customers for additional information and sales. So you can segment your list, and it keeps you top of mind, again, for when they're ready to buy. So your follow-up system will tell you what to do to follow up, how often to follow up, who's going to be doing the follow-up. It should be part of your company's policies and procedures, so everyone knows exactly what needs to be done every day, every week, every month, and throughout the year. And the best thing is that your follow-up system can automate a lot of the process so that you can be free to focus on actually serving your customers and coming up with new products and services. You'll also be able to delegate a lot of the follow-up to your team after the system is set up. So taking the time to get your follow-up system can add thousands and thousands of dollars to your company's bottom line. So again, why follow up? It gets your customers back in the door and increases their lifetime customer value. So let's talk about some legal issues here. We all, well, I know, because this is my business, know about CAN spam. This is the legislation that tells you what, as a business, you can and can't do. Now, we know that we get tons of spam every day, and I don't know how they are going to stop that, but we can't deal with that. But we, as legitimate businesses, we're smart to follow the CAN spam. It's just good business practice, and it will keep you on the right side of your customers as well. So first of all, you cannot add people to your automated mailing list without their permission. So you can't go to a networking event, get somebody's business card, and just put them on the automated email list. There's ways to get them over to that, but you just can't go in and type their name in. And remember, people are really protective of their email addresses these days. Their inboxes are full. Even if they weren't to get any spam at all, their inboxes are full of various correspondence that they are interested in as well. So if you don't follow the rules, you can really hurt your business and your personal reputation by adding people without their permission. One of the big gurus this week got his product launch major annual event that he spent a whole year because someone who was an affiliate for him, who was sending out, basically acting as a salesperson for him, didn't work for him, sent out a lot of spam, and it got the whole thing shut down. Lost thousands, millions of dollars for that business owner, as well as all the people that were trying to make money by offering the program to their clients. So you want to be really careful about that. Many email programs like Gmail, Comcast, and AOL let their customers report spam, and that can get your account shut down. People can report your email as spam to the email automated service that you use, and you'll get in trouble with them as well. So we actually had a customer who was using Comcast, which we don't recommend. This is one of the reasons. And someone else from his domain is on a shared server. That's pretty typical. And someone else was sending out spam, and Comcast refused to accept the emails that were coming through with his domain name on it. So info@businessname.com wouldn't go through a whole ton of mail. And it took a couple days before they realized, wow, what happened to all of our mail? And that happened because Comcast blacklisted them, and it took us about a day and a half to get Comcast to release that. So not only can it affect your business, but you can affect others as well. So there are really a lot of ways to ethically encourage people you network with, new people that you meet, to ask to be on your list, and we're going to talk some more about those. The other thing, finally, that they must be able to do is to remove themselves by clicking your unsubscribe button at the bottom of the message. And this, if you're trying to use Gmail or your Comcast, this is very painful. It's a constant nightmare to manage your email list. So again, do not use your own email program. It will get you in a lot of trouble, and it won't build the relationship that you need. So don't use your program for mass mailings. Can't say that often enough. So the follow-up services, again, that we're going to recommend here shortly are going to automate your duties. If you use Gmail and Comcast and AOL, there's no automation at all. And, of course, when you're freed up from a lot of that maintenance and common messages, you're going to be able to send out more messages, and you're going to help more people and be able to develop more products and services, and, of course, what we all want, have more money on our bottom lines, and, even things like take off more time and do some other things that maybe we want to do. So let me tell you about the follow-up keys. These are some things these are some of the ways that you can follow up, the key things to following up. They are, and I'm going to talk about them individually, newsletters, scheduled email messages, broadcast email messages, text messaging, which can also be scheduled or broadcast, the telephone, and direct mail. So the key to staying in touch with your prospects and your customers need to be stayed in touch with, even vendors you may want to stay in touch with, or volunteers. There's all sorts of people that you may want to keep in touch with because you want them to remember you and you want them to see you as an expert. And you definitely want to automate this, or you're going to have stacks of business cards, notes, and all sorts of other paper and email stuff all over your business. So which of these have you implemented already? All right, so I'm seeing some people saying that they have some newsletters, they've done some direct mail, some interest here in some scheduled email messages, and even text messaging. Okay, so great. We'll talk about these individually. So this is your typical sign-up box. Usually it says something like, sign up for my newsletter. And about 10 years ago, we could do that very effectively, put sign up for my newsletter, and people would give you their email address. But if you still have that on your website, then you know that you're really probably not getting very many people to put their information in here for you. So effective websites, this is part of having an effective website, is to offer a compelling freebie. You might also call that, it's also known as a free report, or an opt-in is an industry term. Even pink spoon is a term that we use. Think about, when you go to the ice cream store and they offer you the little pink spoon taste. And if you like it, then, probably I would guess, more than half of the people actually go on to order the one that they asked for a taste on. You'll see some people that will ask for, a lot of taste. But in the end, there's a psychological reciprocity that when you ask for a taste, you have to buy. And that's part of the relationship that you're setting up here. You're doing this to showcase your expertise and keep people in mind, in their minds, keep you in their minds, so when they need your products and services that you'll be there. So you give them the freebie in exchange for their email address. That's what they're paying for. They're buying your freebie, your pink spoon, with their email address. And then your email address will go into a database service, and it will build your list. So if you have a form on your website to capture information, does it just go into your email? Some people just have just ends up building up in their email. Or are you really building a list? So, and again, sign-up boxes like this are also called opt-in boxes. So here's one example, and here is another example here. Which one would you prefer? So this one or this one? And this is one that we have on our site, and you can actually sign up for it there, our Profit Leaks report. You can get a copy of that if you just go to that link, or it's also on the sidebar of our website at BizFinder Local. So again, this one isn't very exciting. It's also asking for too much information, asking for a phone and a message and all of that. This needs to be very simple. People do not want to give you their phone unless there's a compelling reason for it. And as far as a message goes, you need to have a contact us page on your website where they can give you more information. This is not for mixing and matching. This is strictly to build your list. So again, what do you think about that? This page is actually bigger. I cut off part of it. There's a nice big tree over here, and you probably may have seen some of these. Notice I also let people, if they have already gotten their report, they can click through. And this program is called LeadRocket, and so you could click on that, and if you want to have a page like this, you can purchase LeadRocket. And by the way, this is an affiliate link, which means I'll get some commission for that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. You don't pay any extra, though, whenever we do that. So let's take a look at a couple more here. Here's one that's very attractive. Notice they have 100% privacy. I'll never spam you. All they're asking for is the email address. Very simple. And then here's one for somebody that's doing something with smoothies or health, and they're just asking for a name and email address. Now, this one's a little bit blurry. It wasn't on the site, but when I made it big enough so that you could really see it here, it's a little bit blurry. So it was actually nicer on that site than it looks like here. So again, let's go back. I want you to see all those again. Boring. It looks even more boring than it did before. Here's a new style that a lot of people are doing. Not a lot of content. This makes it easy. Got to have a great headline, though, and a great compelling name for whatever it is you're giving them. And then here are some, and again, they're not giving a lot of information here. So these were both on pages that had more information and to encourage you. But they have nice pictures here. This one came out quite well. Okay, so what happens after they sign up? Well, that's a good question. After people have requested your freebie, they go into a database, and they have given you permission to send them additional follow-up email messages. So that's how you're building your list. That's how you get to stay in touch with people. So the first kind they want to talk about are what is known as autoresponder messages. Now these are scheduled messages in your follow-up system, and then your system sends it out based on when a product has entered your sales funnel. So if I sign up today, I'm going to start getting messages immediately, and the sequence of that, the timing of all of that, you can control. Now, if you sign up for the same list a week later, you're going to start with message number 1, and I might be on message 2 or 5 or some other message depending how frequently you're sending them out. If it was like a 7-day course, e-course for example, 7 days of messages, I would be on day 8 if you signed up a week after I did. And then you would start with message number 1, and you'd flow through the sequence. And the person who signed up next month would start with message number 1. So this is known as dripping, and these are called autoresponders. So with an autoresponder system, you can design a follow-up campaign, and each person gets a series of emails that you have pre-entered. Again, this is the automation. It's already pre-entered, and they can be designed to educate them or entertain them or lead them to the next step in the sales cycle. And I've seen some that have lasted a year or more. And as long as people don't unsubscribe, you continue to have permission to keep sending them that. And if they're interested in what you have to say and they're learning from you or you're providing good value from you, then they'll stay in your list. And if someone unsubscribes, then the messages will stop. Now, in a service like this, you can even have several campaigns that are sending out different kinds of information. So your prospects, for example, the people who signed up for your freebie, are going to get different information than what you send to customers. And one of the things that you can do in a lot of the services is once they purchase from you, they can be removed from that prospect one, so they're not getting continual, sales pitches about what they bought. That's not good. They say, well, I already bought that. Why do you keep sending this to me? So that's, again, some of the automation. As soon as they purchase, they come off of one list and they begin to be on the customer list where you're educating them about whatever it is that they purchased, and you can offer them additional products and services from there. Now, you may also have a mixed customer base. Maybe you have men that need different things than women, or maybe you have business owners versus corporate workers, and you want to send a message to different people. And you can do that based on the different behaviors that they do on your site. If they're a man and they sign up for your men's freebie, then they're going to get different messages than people who are signing up for the women's freebie. And you don't have to worry about whether they're on the wrong list. If they put themselves on the wrong list and they're not interested, they'll probably go ahead and unsubscribe. So you can also send messages based on what people purchase from you. And if you have different things that they're purchasing, then you may want to send them different messages. So it's also really, really important to choose a follow-up service with good deliverability that will get them into your prospects and your customers' inbox. And some of them have better deliverability than others. Some of them are easier to use than others. Some of them, they cost more than others. You also want to look for one that has unlimited autoresponder messages and unlimited numbers of lists. Now, it's really painful to move your list to another service if you make the wrong decision. So don't just go on cost. And I'll share with you the one that we recommend. We've done a lot of research. We've been on all of them. We've been on the clients that are using them, and we now only support a couple of them. So we have seen all those bad ones out there, and we'll take a look at your budget and steer you to the one that will be most effective for you. That's not something that you have to spend time researching or knowing about it. We can help step in on that. So, and again, initially you want to collect as little information as you really need, because each additional piece that you ask for will reduce your conversions. People will leave if you ask for too much information. So let me show you a flow chart here of what an autoresponder might look like. So you can see here at the beginning that right here that people went to the website, they filled out a form for the free report. Next, you're going to, this is a sequence, you're going to deliver them the report. They're going to download it, which you can also tag them that they have done that. So otherwise, you keep reminding them over here. You can't see all of this over here. Actually, this is it right here. You keep reminding them to download it for several times. And then once they do that, they don't get any more reminder messages. Then in this sequence here, you'll tag them that they've downloaded it, and you can do follow-up emails, hopefully leading to a purchase. Now, here is what this is underneath right here, this section. If you were to click on this, you would see this. So it starts, it waits 3 days, and then on a weekday, it sends a follow-up message, like, hope you're enjoying the report you just downloaded. Did you notice on page 5 that, there's this piece of information? And then it waits 3 more days, and it sends a second follow-up message. Hope you're enjoying the report over here on page 10. by the way, you might be interested in, in my other free report or my, some of my other products and services, and you can give links to that. And this can go on and on and on indefinitely. And then as soon as they purchase, then they go into another sequence like this. They don't continue to get these messages asking them to buy whatever it is they bought there. Now, some of the, you want to do some mixing up the messages. Some of them might be to, a lot of education you want to provide them, a lot of tips, a lot of expertise, case studies, all sorts of things to let them know that you're an expert and to develop the relationship with them. And some of them will encourage people to purchase your goods and services. And of course, you can see that where the shopping cart is. And then they can also, there are other types of messages that they can continue to get. And those are called broadcasts. So autoresponders is where they get things dripped out based on how many days have passed since they signed up. With broadcasts, you can think about newsletters and announcements. Everybody wants to hear the announcement at the same time, or they need to get the newsletter at the same time. And it doesn't matter when they sign up, and they may still be getting the autoresponder messages. So you want to take that into consideration. And in the welcome message, you want to tell them, what they're going to be getting and how often, set their expectations for them. The unhappiest people are where they got more than they expected or they got less than they expected. So just tell them what they're going to get, that they're going to get a series of messages that are designed to educate them, and that they're going to get newsletters and announcements from time to time. So somebody could unsubscribe from your newsletters and announcements, for example, and still be getting the autoresponder messages. So these are called broadcasts, where everybody gets it at the same time. And they can go out, your newsletter could go out weekly or monthly. Announcements could go out whenever you need to send them out. And again, those are called broadcasts. And they tend to be less automated because you'll probably write the content just before you send it out, where with the autoresponders, you're going to pre-write those and load those in to the service. And then, basically once a year or so, you're going to take a look and see whether those things are all still valid, the information is still current, do you need to make any changes, and that's it. It's just hands-off, automated, keeping in touch with people, as often as is appropriate for your customers. So the best follow-up services can handle both the autoresponders and broadcasts. And again, you want to be able to have as many messages and as many lists as you want. Some of them out there will do a better job with broadcasts than they do with autoresponders, and yet the autoresponder piece is really, really important. They should also track how many people are opening them, how many people are bouncing, how many people are opting out. Bouncing is if the address is not working or if their mailbox is full, and it should track how many people have unsubscribed and how many people have even clicked the links that you have in there. You want to know which are most popular links. Now, many of them can also share your information out on social media. Now, you wouldn't want to do that for autoresponders, but some of them will even post your entire newsletter or your announcement and send information out on social media so that people can go and find out about it and perhaps choose to purchase something from you or get on your list. Now, let me show you another diagram. This one's kind of a scary one here, but it's a flow chart for newsletters. So you can see that it started out on January 15th, and it sent out the January 2013 newsletter. And then, when they're black, it means that they're not active yet. So we have the timer active, but we haven't gotten the newsletter in yet. This would have been set up in December for the whole year. And so as we go in and we open this up, which is a mailing is what this is, when we open it up and we create the newsletter, then we make this turn green, and that means, and we do that before January 15th at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then it will go ahead and send it out. And then the same thing for February 15th, we'll get that set up, and prior to that, we will create the newsletter, and it will go out automatically all throughout the year without us doing anything more than what we have done here. Now, if somebody joins in March, for example, they join on March 14th, then on the 15th, they will get their first newsletter, and they will move forward. They will not get the back one. So they enter the sequence here, and then whenever they enter it, they get the very next newsletter. If they enter on March 16th, they won't get one until April 15th. Now, again, these are the broadcasts, the newsletters. They may still be getting autoresponder messages from you, and they should. In between that time, these are running separately, and so they're getting them at different times depending on when they signed up. But this way, everyone gets it on, that is on your list, will get the April 2013 newsletter on April 15th at 8 a.m. And these are usually running on Eastern Time. So they will skip, again, anything in the past, and so they don't get overloaded with a bunch of past newsletters. Now, the types of email messages that you send through your follow-up service. Let's talk about some of those kinds. So there's newsletters, which are also known as broadcasts, and they should be short and frequent. No one wants to read a long newsletter. They don't have time. Don't put your entire article in the newsletter. Make it a blog post, and then give them a little teaser, and then send them over there to read the rest of the story. And this will keep your website content up to date, and it will send more traffic to your website, which Google likes. So remember, one of our mantras is reuse, repurpose, recycle. And so when you write a blog post, don't just stick it there. Come back and put it into your newsletter, and you get newsletter content without having to write it separately. You can talk about what your business is up to, give them tips or other interesting information. You can make them offers of additional products and services, things you recommend. You can showcase testimonials and case studies. Those all make for an interesting newsletter. And you can, upcoming events are good. You can use an advertisement for another service, perhaps, that you're making a commission on to help pay for the newsletter. And again, you're sending them back to your website, which means more traffic over there. And getting people, once they get on your website, hopefully they'll look at some other things and stick around for a while. Now, on announcements, you can announce new products or services, again, upcoming events, any sales or specials. You can introduce new hires to your audience. You're just sharing things that you think that your group will be interested in. And remember, you don't have to send to everyone. If you have multiple lists, you can send maybe people who haven't bought from you yet. They may not care that you have a new employee, but they may be interested in the sale. And so you can choose which lists get which messages. And again, the announcements and the broadcasts, the announcements and emails are broadcasts, and they're going to be more timely types of things generally. Now, with the autoresponders, again, these are the ones that are based on when they signed up. They're usually going to be preloaded so that you don't have to spend a lot of time and energy on that, and people are still being kept in touch with. You can highlight specific areas of interest that you think people will be interested in, sending them back to your free report, for example. Again, where I mentioned, go back and see what's on page 10. You can offer education and tips. You can offer case studies and examples. You're just showcasing your expertise and developing the relationship with them and letting them know. You can ask them a question. You can invite them to contact you. You can invite them to meet you on social media. All those things, it's a conversation, and the more two-way you can have the conversation, the more likely it is that the relationship will develop into a more profitable one. And again, you can also offer your additional products and services, and this is where really a lot of businesses are leaving money on the table because they're not, they don't know how to do this effectively, and they don't know how to do it so that it doesn't feel pushy and salesy. And that's where we can help you. We can help you to craft the message and to write it in such a way that you don't feel like you're constantly pushing in people's face. Sometimes we, in our own businesses, we can feel like that, and we don't really know how to write that. So we have that challenge too. So the other thing is that your autoresponders should be things that are more evergreen. They're not really time sensitive, because if you put it in at the beginning of the year and someone doesn't get that first message until December, you don't want the stuff to be out of date. So you need to watch for that. Things that are more timely, that have a certain expiration date on them or may go out of date, need to be in newsletters and announcements. And again, over and over again, you're working to develop the relationship with the audience. Now, when you send out messages through the follow-up service, you can have targeted messages. You're collecting, you've got the list going, and you've been collecting information about your customers. You can collect more information once they, once they start working with you. You could ask them a survey, and then you can tag their responses so that you can further target their messages. Think how it is when you get a message that's really speaking to you, as opposed to one that you can just tell is so generic. It has nothing to do with anything that you're interested in. So you can, when someone purchases a specific product, then we help you tag them, and that lets you offer them additional services in that category. And you can offer them things that they haven't purchased yet. When you collect the demographic information, you can send emails specifically to a group. So for example, women between the ages of 30 and 35 with children are going to have a different interest than women who don't have children, or women who don't have children yet, or their children are grown, or maybe they're grandmas. So if you have that information, and if you have products and services that meet the needs of that population, then it's important for you to know about it and be able to track it. And you don't want to be sending a message out about something to do with grandmas to a 20-year-old. It would be highly unlikely that they would be interested in that information. And so you want to target appropriate messages for them, and this is how you can do it. And people will feel that you are really interested in them and that you are speaking to them, and you are. So this really helps in being able to offer them the products and services that they need. And if you offer a number of different free opt-ins for each audience, that's one of the ways you can start to identify people's interests. And based on the behaviors that they have in terms of what they click on in the messages, we can tag that when we've predetermined what kind of information that means to us. So if they click on something to do with grandchildren, then we can assume that they are thinking about, or that they are a grandparent. So remember, we're always looking at the lifetime customer value here. This is what's important. And you can bet that all the big companies are doing this. You know that they are. You know American Express and Coca-Cola and H&R Block, all of them, they understand their demographics, and they have a ton of information about you. And of course, we know that the government has a ton of information about us as well. So every business can do this. Even small businesses can use this to help your business grow. Now let's talk about another way that you can follow up, and that's with text messaging. Now we know, all of us know right now, that mobile devices are the hottest technology appliance there is right now. They're outselling laptops and desktops. And it's also a way to bypass overstuffed inboxes. Now this won't be true for even very much longer. In the next couple of years, we're going to find that we have way too much stuff coming in text messages. Some people already do. I know I'm really careful about this, and I will quickly get off a list that isn't useful to me. So you will have higher unsubscribe rates on text messaging than you do for, for your inbox, perhaps. People will put up with it longer. But right now, it's a great way to bypass these overfilled inboxes. And they work much the same way that email marketing does. You have much fewer characters, only 140 probably, so you do have to be succinct and on target with your messages. So think Twitter here. And you do have to collect the phone number on the opt-in form before you can send out a text message. And if you do that, or if you collect it a little bit later on, you can always ask people, hey, would you like to get messages from me? Then you want to be very careful to make sure that they know that it's a text message that they're getting. Some people still have to pay for those. And you can collect them later by asking for it. You can say, if you want something else free from me, then text, give me something at 90210, however, whatever code you have for that. We've all heard that on American Idol and that sort of thing. So you don't, again, you can't just add them to your text messaging sequence if they gave you, if you asked for a phone number and they gave you, unless you were really, really specific that you're going to be texting them, then don't do it without permission, because people are even more protective of their cell phones than their inboxes, and you'll quickly lose a prospect and perhaps even have them, telling other people what you did, and that won't be good for growing your business. Now, who can use text messaging? Well, restaurants are an obvious choice. We probably all signed up for some of those. But some of them may not even be using it that well. They can use it to send out offers on a slow night, or they can remind your customers to come in on Friday night before a movie. Or they can even say that they are teaming up with a movie theater, and come in and get a just come in after the movie and show your little ticket stub, and we'll give you a discount. So it's a great way to team up and do collaborative marketing with other businesses. Movie theaters themselves can announce upcoming movies or special events, or they can even share movie trailers right on the phones. Hair salons could offer coupons, or they could invite walk-ins. Walk in right now and get your hair cut. Walk out looking beautiful. They can clothing and shoe stores can offer specials. They can advertise when vendors are coming in who might be of interest to people. And again, if you've segmented people, then you can target them. If you know that their history is that they generally buy high heels versus flats in a shoe store, then you could share that you have a brand new shipment of all these beautiful, new high heels, and you could even send out pictures in some cases with that. Grocery stores could share what to make for tonight, recipes and specials at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We all know, for most of us, we have no idea what we're doing for dinner, and so if every day at 4 o'clock we got a little note that we could use the chicken breasts on special with the feta cheese and spinach, we might be likely to just pop right on in and pick up a few of those things that we didn't have on hand. And if we did have everything on hand, then it would make our life easy, because we would know immediately what to cook, and we would look forward to those. And many of the things, by the way, that you do on text messaging like that, you can also do on social media. So this is a good way, again, to reuse, repurpose, and recycle your content. Now, a couple things you could do is, another few more things is you could send a mass broadcast text to fill a cancellation. If you have an opening of some sort, you could let people know and maybe offer that at a discount. You can, if you're an auto service shop or any kind of a service shop or home maintenance, you could send out reminders for servicing, oil changes, for example. Optometrists could send out messages to purchase contact lenses when, on a sequence like that. And you can send out a message whenever it's time for any sort of repeat orders. This is a great way to use text messaging. And for many people, really appreciative. I mean, if my optometrist reminds me to buy contacts, when they estimate that, I have a 2 or 3 week supply left, then I know I'm not going to run out and have to stick on my ugly old glasses. So some of those sort of things, you can really be of great service to your customers. And of course, we know that that means that they make additional purchases, and that's what we're all about here today. So you can also use your text messaging to work hand in hand with your email campaigns. Some of the services will intersperse text messaging in with as part of an autoresponder. So you can send out a couple of emails, send a text message, send out a couple of emails, send a text message, and that can really change things up and make your sequence more interesting and engage people more. You can use it to increase the rates of attendance for online and local events just by reminding people. You could invite your subscribers to attend a Chamber of Commerce event or another local activity that you support. Just be creative, but be careful that you are really an intrusion into their email box or the text messaging, and make sure that they really do want to get things like this. If you do a lot of events, you could have a different list where people were signing up for that, and you didn't bother people that were not interested. Now, we also know about phone and direct mail, but some of the services out there can automate this for you as well. They can send out direct mail. They can connect with the fulfillment house, and when let's say that they've been on your list for 3 months, or maybe they've made a new purchase and you want to send them a little gift of some sort or some content, You can have your service, depending on which service you have. Obviously, these are in different budget categories, but they can do these things. Just think how automated it is to have this sort of stuff going on. They could send out birthday cards, or Thanksgiving cards, or just happy summer cards. All of those things can be handled and automated and preloaded in advance, depending on what service you have. Now, you must have this information already in your database. Obviously, you can't send something to someone if you haven't collected their address. So this is always good for people who have made a purchase from you, because you should, depending on whether you do online or not, hopefully you have an address for them. Obviously, this is going to vary. If you're a retail store, you may not have it, but over time you may collect it and ask for it. And if you do, then if you ask for an address, you want to send them something right off the bat so that they're eager to get more mail from you. Now, you also have to follow the do not call list. This is good business practice. We know a lot of people don't, but we want to do all white hat stuff. That's all we do. We're the good guys here, and we want you to be good guys to your customers as well. So we encourage you to follow the do not call list, and there's even a do not mail list that you want to follow if you're buying lists. Now, again, because you can't put people on that haven't requested, if you're going to do some sort of a mailing, a direct mailing where you're buying a list, you can't put them into these sequences. That would have to be handled separately. These are for people that have already given you permission to keep on contacting them and have given you the right information that you need to do this type of contact. So they'll provide the information. You may also be able to export the names and phone numbers for phone and direct mail follow-up. Some of the services will allow you to even call right from within them, so that you just click on the phone number. Again, that's automated and allows your people to get a lot of phone calls done where they're not dialing. Some of them will even dial, and if they recognize that it's a phone machine that's answered, then they'll leave a pre-recorded message from you saying, hi, this is the business owner, and I just want to tell you about our such-and-so today. And they sound very authentic. And then if they answer the phone, you have a live person on it, and if someone picks up on the other end, then the person who's doing the calling will go ahead and relay the message themselves. And if it's leaving a voicemail, the service can go on and dial the next number, so you're not even waiting while the voicemail is being left. Very, very sophisticated and reasonably priced services are out there to really handle a lot of this automation and contact for you. So, so keep that in mind, that they fit your budget, and you can add them on as you grow as well. So we want to just keep you on the right side of all of these lists, and also encourage you, if you're doing direct mail, to do something that's going to be distinctive. A lot of times we call this lumpy mail, where something is inside of it that makes it have, it's just not flat. It has something that they're giving away, keychains or USBs or, whatever might be appropriate for your list. But make them lumpy, and they will be more likely to be open. If they really stand out, you can see here I've got something. This wouldn't be able to be mailed, obviously, but you could do something similar here where it's got urgent delivery on it, or something that makes it stand out. Colored envelopes, different sizes, pretty postcards, all of those sort of things are possible in direct mail. And, think about the old Netflix mailers. Everybody knew, anybody who had one of those red, things in their hand, those red mailers in their hand, everybody knew they had just gotten a brand new movie to watch. So just think about that. Think about the mail that you get that you're likely to open. Now, you can also, here's just to extend it a little bit, you can do cooperative mailings where you're getting together with other businesses to promote each other. And this is a method that's really, really underutilized. So try finding industries that complement your own and invite that business to market their services with you. And they should either pay you for the advertising, or they should pay you a percentage of the business that they generate. And we can show you how to make that, how you can track that. So you really work with other businesses to promote each other, share what's going on with other businesses that are serving the same market as you, and you'll be a hero to your audience, and you'll be even more valuable to them. And you can even work together and create complementary packages where they buy something and they get something from each of you. Now, what's really, really important is that you cannot just give your list to someone else. You can't share it for any reason, but you can bring that business's information into your marketing materials, your mailing materials, and invite them to then, purchase services from them, or, whatever the campaign is. But do not give your list, and don't take someone else's either, because it's a great way to ruin both of your lists. So, for example, an appliance repair company could work with an electrician and plumber. They're not, they're not competing, but yet they tend to service the homeowner. And if somebody's in there repairing an appliance, they may realize, or be talking with the homeowner and realize that there's electrical or plumbing work that needs to be done. And so it's a great way to cooperate with them and be able to share customers and help everyone's business grow. A hair salon could team up with a clothing boutique or a spa, for example. What other possibilities out there? Yeah, we talked about the movie theater and the restaurant or bar. That's a great way to do it. Okay, so moving right along here, where to collect the information? Well, the bottom line is you want to collect it everywhere that you can. You want to collect it on the website. You can put an offer on the back of your business card with one of your freebies on it, and encourage people to go there to sign up. That's a way at a networking event. You can have a card that invites them to go to your website and get something, and then they're on your list. You can put it on coupons. You can always have it at your register or your front desk when you're networking. That's a good way to do it. If you do it any sort of display table, and also always on social media, you can do it in your signature on email. Every signature should have an offer in it, and your signature should be repeated. You shouldn't be typing your name in every time. That's violates one of my rules of no retyping and no boring and tedious. So you want to automate all of that as much as possible. So never miss an opportunity to collect an email address, and be sure to note that people will receive additional information from you. Also include a privacy statement, things like your mail is safe with us, we won't share or sell or give away your email address. People like to know that you're recognizing that their email address is a private thing. So again, don't miss an opportunity to collect email addresses, and then be sure to have something to do with them. It doesn't do any good to collect them if you don't do anything with them. So let's talk about building your list. So again, we've talked about all along about having a free report or other valuable information. You could offer a free consult. You could offer a coupon or a discount. You could offer a downloadable audio or video or music. Any of those kind of things can be valuable to the right audience, to your audience that's looking for those that information. Any of those things. Frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions about dog chewing if you're doing something with pets. So whatever is appropriate for your audience, then you can create a free report or a free consultation, a coupon discount, a video or an audio showing how to do something. So you need to generate this kind of a list before you have anyone to follow up with. And the best way to do that is by offering one of these incentives. Think about how, when you're on the internet, what do you sign up for? That's what you're looking for. And it's really critical to your online lead generation process and efforts. So you need to give something to get something. And of course, it has to be appropriate and valuable to your audience. And I can't tell you off the top of my head exactly what's going to be valuable to your audience, but we can all figure that out together. We have all sorts of ideas for helping to build your list with incentives. But you got to have the list. You got to get going with it. That's a text message coming in for me. One of my that one happens to be Dress Barn. Okay. Now, what to put in your opt-in box? You want to have a strong headline indicating that it's valuable information, something that makes them want. With our local businesses, you all want to stop profit leaks. It's a very popular report. And you want to change it fairly often, too. If you stop getting a lot of sign-ups for it, then rotate it out and then bring it back again at another time, or change the cover on it, change the headline. Could still be the same information, but those can get stale, too. You will... So the headline is what's just going to catch their interest. You have some info fields that they're going to fill out, name and email address, maybe only email address. You could have some other things But the more that you ask for, the fewer conversions you're going to get. So start out simple and see how it goes. You're also going to want to put a submit button, a privacy policy, and definitely a call to action. Click here to get. Those are the sort of things that you want to put. You want to ask people to tell them what to do so that they can get whatever it is that you're offering. And then for most of them, after they sign up, you're also going to get a thank you page. And you can offer them something else on that thank you page. It could be something for sale. It could be more information. It could be just telling them about something about your business. But that's good real estate to take advantage of after they sign up, is to go ahead and offer them some more information. Or on some services, you can even collect some demographic information. Now, let's talk about some of the some message etiquette. So you want to make sure that your messages are appropriate. What you say to your audience is really important. And if you aren't appropriate, and we're not talking about off color here, we're talking about being appropriate for their needs, then people are going to leave. And you'll find that on some of your people will leave more than others. That doesn't mean you can't be controversial. Controversial is attractive as well. You just want to make sure that what you're giving them is appropriate to you and to them and to your products and services. Don't be too salesy. You know, throughout the call today, I've mentioned as appropriate some of the products and services that we have, and in our messages you would get some more, but I haven't been sell all the way through. And that's, you want to make sure that your messages aren't either. You can offer specials and be sure to provide value. Make the message really count. So here's another example. I'm on a list that offers me a quote every day. They send me a message every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday, every single day, 7 days a week. I get a quote from them. They're very nice, very nicely laid out, and the quotes are very thoughtful. And then underneath that, they share one of their products or services. Not pushy. They really don't say much. It's just they try to tie in some way to the quote, but I don't feel pressured. I get value out of the quote, and if I'm interested in their offer, I can buy. And if I'm not interested today, you know, there may be another day where I'm interested. But it does keep their products and services in mind for me. I can, you know, I always know that they've got some great products out there, and I bought some from their emails that I wouldn't have if I wasn't getting those on a daily basis. So again, stay relevant and appropriate. If they opt into a skincare list, then don't start talking about home safety. Keep it on skincare. Some businesses may personalize the message with the person's first name if they collected it, and you can do that in either the subject line or the, you know, Dear Jane as the opening line of the message. And you'll want to test that. Some people feel that that's intrusive, and some people will, it won't work on. Some people, it takes up room that maybe you don't want to give up in your message. So sometimes you may want to do it, and sometimes you don't. Maybe newsletters you don't, but maybe some of the autoresponder messages you do. So, and you want to test that. So, and most of the email services, all the ones we recommend, will show you how many people opened the message, how many people clicked on the links. Some of them will offer split testing, which means that they might send half of your batch out with one headline, headline A, and the other half of the batch out on headline B. Now, until you have a decent amount of people in there, that's not worth it. You know, you need to have at least 100 people before you can, you know, even get any sort of statistics on that to make that worthwhile. But just keep that in mind that you want to test and see what happens. Now, you can consider sending out a series of tips on your most frequently asked questions. This is a great way. And this also, your frequently asked questions can go on your website. Remember, reuse, repurpose, recycle. You can include information that your readers should be thinking about, but they might not know to ask. They don't know what they don't know. You do. You can watch your frequency. Don't send them out too frequently unless they know what they're going to get. When I signed up for a quote of the day, I assumed I was going to get an email every single day. If I get tired of them, I can leave. So don't send them out too frequently. In the welcome message is a great time to say, hey, you know, you're going to get 7 messages over the next 7 days, and then, you know, you'll get a couple messages a week from us. You'll also get our newsletter and announcements or whatever it is you're going to send them. Just let them know. And you can repeat that at the bottom. You know, this is what we send you. You can, at the top, sometimes you'll see you're getting this message because you signed up for my XYZ. And that helps remind them why they got on your list. Don't wait too long. If you haven't sent out to your list in the last 30 days, they're pretty darn cold. And if you haven't sent out in 6 months, then those names really aren't worth very much. You can try, but you won't get, I can pretty well guarantee you won't get very many opens or clicks. People are just, they've moved on. They don't need you. They've forgotten about you. So you want to do a frequency that is really appropriate. And you'll know, you can tell in your statistics if people drop off after the third or fourth message on a consistent basis, then you want to go back and look maybe at that third or fourth message and see whether it was really as useful as it could be. Maybe they're just going, oh, well, you know, I got a few days worth of stuff here. I tried it out, and, you know, it's not really just not for me. But if you're seeing that a lot where they were interested enough to sign up, but they don't stay with you, then it's a good chance for you to, you know, to revisit that particular piece of content or the ones preceding it to see if you're really delivering value. So next, you want to really monitor and measure what I was just talking about, you know, seeing where people are dropping off. This is all about monitoring and measuring. Monitor the open rate, monitor your unsubscribe rate, and these will give you some ideas about what may need to be changed. You also want to measure your conversion rate. If you have a very low conversions from your opt-ins into purchasing, then you want to look and see whether those messages are really leading people into a purchase decision. It may be that you know, most of your sales happen around the 10th message. And so maybe you'll want to move some of the information forward, or maybe it will just take till the 10th message and they've received enough content, enough value from you that they go ahead and make a purchase decision. So you will look for those bottlenecks. Look where things are dropping off, or where you're not really seeing the forward momentum that you want to. You can also create a new opt-in offer. You can change the headline or title. All of those things you want to do carefully in a measured way and see what the conversion is. Now let's talk about some advanced strategies here, and this is creating a lead conversion portal. This is a membership area. You can have a free membership area, where people get things for free, or you can ask them to put their name in and a password to get their free information. This is where you can deliver your free information. It gives you a chance to offer additional information and, again, additional products and services. Having a paid membership area is really great. If you have a whole thing on dog training, you know, don't give it away all at once. Have some sort of a paid service where you can do webinars, or you can provide ebooks or various things to people with recurring revenue. And this gives you a great base of revenue to start doing things. So think about what people could buy on a monthly basis from you, whether it's information or products and services, and put them into a membership portal. Again, you can offer additional products and services. And when you have them in a membership area, you can also use it to upsell and cross-sell. Think about Amazon. You know, how many times have we bought something that Amazon said you might also be interested in, or other people bought? And those are fairly easy to set up these days with websites and all. So don't be afraid of that. We can walk you through that, show you how to do it. We can do it for you. But there's a lot of ways where you can offer additional things to people in a very simple way. Amazon, of course, does a tremendous job of upselling and cross-selling. So today we talked about lifetime customer value and how to increase that, how to, you know, what that really can mean to your bottom line if you can increase the lifetime customer value. That also tells you how much you can afford to acquire a customer, how much you'll generate from them in a year, and you know, how quickly you'll recapture the cost that you had to acquire them. We talked about why to follow up. We talked about some of the legal issues, the follow-up keys, different things about messages and following up, how to monitor and measure, and the lead conversion portal. And now it's your turn. And you have two choices here. You can call us and we'll do it for you. We wouldn't be good marketers if we didn't offer that to you today. And you can do it yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do yourself here. So think about what it is that you need, where you need help. And we do a combination. We work with a lot of people where we give them some advice about what to do, and then when they get stuck, then we take over and we do some things for them. So there's a couple things that you can do. Now, if you're going to do things yourself, what you want to do is you want to sign up for a follow-up service. I'm going to share a couple of those in a minute. Create your own valuable freebie. design your opt-in box, which your follow-up service will give you the code for, put it on your website, and be sure to write your follow-up messages and load them into the system so they can start to be delivered. Now, be sure to check out our Local Profit Leaks report. A lot of great information in there, and you'll get to see how our system works. Look for opt-in boxes as you're surfing the web. Now that you know what those are, you'll probably see them everywhere, just like when you get a brand new car. Sign up for some of them and notice the kind of messages you get, the frequency, the appropriateness, where they place the sales offers. And we have on our website some services that we recommend, and we do put our affiliate links in there. And what that means is that that company will track that we recommended it to you. Basically, we sold it for them, and they will pay us a commission for it. It's not, sometimes it's not very much, but you don't pay any more sometimes with our links because we're a preferred partner. We can get you some discounts, and we just use that money to help us pay for creating these types of webinars for you. So, and if you don't want to do that, then you can just go straight to the site, and that's totally up to you. So Aweber is our favorite for broadcasting and for autoresponders. One shopping cart is decent if you need e-commerce. Our all-time favorite, not everyone is ready for this yet, but is something called Infusionsoft, and it's for real business automation. A lot of the automation I talked about, the tagging and moving people around, and a lot of the demographic information and all is really possible with Infusionsoft. And your industry may have some things as well. You just want to make sure that they have good deliverability. And then we also recommend PhoneBurner. That's the one that will dial people and then leave your pre-recorded message from you personally, or your phoner can actually talk to the person if they answer. So that's all we have for today. If you have questions or you need help, please call us. We're happy to chat with you. We don't charge for a quick chat. If we can help you, if we can send you to a resource that isn't us, we'll be happy to do that. Just use us as a resource. We stay on top of all this stuff. We know a lot of people, and we can help you with a lot of your marketing and automation needs. So you can find us at bizfinderlocal.com. You can find us on Facebook at bizfinderlocal. We're on Twitter, Pinterest, everything else out there. And we also invite you to come back and catch us on some more webinars. We do have a lot of replays on our website. This one will be going up shortly on our website. And we'd love to have you learn about these things. We think it's really, really important for business owners to be educated. And that's one of our services because we love to do it as well. So this is Cindy Morris with BizFinder Local, helping local businesses get more business. Everybody have a nice day. Bye-bye.